BARC Physics. Now this video is going to be focusing mainly on interview, but I'm going to give you few tips on written test too. Now this is project BARC going on. I'm going to talk about every field of engineering and sciences, how to crack BARC in them. I'm going to find out people who are with me in BARC who can talk to me about how to crack this interview and written test. So that's going to happen, but right now let's come to physics background. Now I've already made a video on chemistry for BARC in which I've discussed some of the common tricks of how to extend your interview longer and how to attempt your written test, the two-phase rule, and a lot of common tips which you can go through. I'm not going to repeat it over here. I'll put the link over here. If you like to go through it at the end of this video. Okay, you guys need to know a few things before I start this video. I actually recorded this video with one of my friends at BARC training school. He is from physics background and is still working at BARC, but what happened is that he was not able to let me publish it because of his boss, so he'll be anonymous over here, and basically I'll have to say every physics thing that he said. So that's how this video is going to go. I really need to thank this person right now because he helped me a lot in making this video. This video is dedicated to him. The guy is amazing, a very good friend of mine, is like a brother to me. And let's begin this video. Now coming back to BARC physics, I'm going to make it hardcore physics. All the common tips you can go through in chemistry video, but this one I'll be talking about what portion you need to focus on, what derivations you need to work on, what subjects you need to work on more, and all these things. Now coming back to the beginning of the selection process, that is the written test. Obviously you know that you can either get into the interview room through gate or through BARC written test. If your gate did not go that well or you did not appear for it, then you can go for the written test. Now in written test the scheme is very simple. 100 questions you have to answer in 2 hours, and there will be +3 and -1 system. You will be getting a virtual calculator. Level of the examination lower than gate. That's what all the physics selects told me, and basically focuses on BSc, a little bit of MSc, but there will be a lot of questions from your 11th and 12th, that is directly from NCRT. That's something that I have read too. So you should go through it because you know directly if questions are coming, definitely do not leave or neglect that portion. So that's it about the written test. You know that you will not be able to attempt 100 out of 100 questions. It is impossible over here. Just do as much as possible and make it as accurate as possible. Now coming to the interview system is very simple. It will last for 1 hour to 1.5 hours if you are going to get selected. If it's lasting for less than 1 hour, very less chances. That is why I gave that tip in chemistry video, how to extend your interview longer, how to get them interested, how to keep them interested. So that is one of the system that is always going on. Another one is that there will be 5 or 6 interview members. There will be 3 panels in physics panels and mechanical panels are always in the same floor. 6 panels for mechanical and 3 panels for physics will be side by side. So that is the system, basic system going on. Other than that, you will be handed over with A4 size sheets and extra dark pencils in which you can do your derivations or prove or show them your method. That's it. And interviewers are very friendly, don't worry about it. They just want to calm you down as much as possible and see what you have or how much you can think. Now you might be knowing that they will ask you to write 3 to 4 favorite subjects of yours in physics. Now I basically divide subjects into 2 subjects. Number 1 is your favorite subjects that you're going to write over there, and your must subjects. What are these must subjects? Must subjects are the subjects that you just cannot leave. You have to study it. That means even if you do not write it as your favorite subject, they are definitely going to ask questions from those subjects. Now this is what he said, that in your favorite subjects you need to be going in depth, like you have to have very good core concept in your favorite subjects because they are going to ask questions in depth from those subjects. But your must subjects, you can just scratch the surface. They are going to ask you basic questions so that they can understand that you know the basics or not from these subjects, because these subjects will be applied in BARC. So that is why there are 2 types of subjects. Have both, study both, but you need to know which you have to focus more on and which you need to just scratch the surface. He was asked to write 3 to 4 favorite subjects. He was smart. He only wrote 3 subjects. The 3 subjects were electrodynamics, solid state physics and quantum mechanics. Now these were his favorite subjects, Now I'm going to talk about what are the must subjects, and I'm definitely going to go through what he said because I cannot remember all these terms. Classical mechanics, quantum mechanics, mathematical methods, nuclear physics, electrodynamics, these are the absolute must subject. But if you want to be safer, then there are two more subjects, that is statistical physics and atomic and molecular physics. So I hope you noted it down, but I did it over here too, so you can understand that these are the subject, the must subjects. Definitely go through it and pick your favorite subjects. You can pick your favorite subjects from these must subjects too, so that you have to study less overall. But this is what he suggested, that you should always have your favorite subjects which are really your favorite subjects, because they are going to ask questions. You have your MSc thesis on it most likely, so you should be ready with it. Do not try to pretend over there. Now here's the thing that you need to understand, the preference matters. Like you said, subject number 1, 2, 3, then the first question is going to come from subject number 1, and majority of your interview is going to go in that direction, because first subject is really deciding. So make sure that your strongest subject is your first subject. So for example, here the favorite subject was electrodynamics, so that's where the first question came from. And you need to understand that they also focus on your PhD. If you have done a PhD, a lot of aspirants have already done PhD or are doing it, so do not think that they are not going to get over there. So be ready with that. Also your MSc thesis, please be ready with that. This is something that exists only in physics background, so I have to mention it over there. Other streams, they do not focus on your projects, but in physics they do, so you have to be ready with it. But it's not like they are going to get directly into physics and thesis and ask high level questions. It's like whatever your field of thesis is, they are going to relate some basic question from that part. For example, his thesis was, let's say, in electrodynamics, so his first question was from electrodynamics because his first subject was also electrodynamics. He was asked to, what was it? Write expression for refractive index, which is something that you can find in 10th chapter of Griffiths. Obviously I did not study, but that's what he said. And this is something that he specially mentioned, that it is okay to make mistakes. They'll help you and correct you if you make mistakes. For example, he was doing this derivation of chronic penny model, and over there he made a mistake in writing one of the formulas. So in that they helped him in it. But it is very important for you to understand that nobody answers everything correctly over there. 100% cannot be answered correctly. It is BARC interview, these are top scientists. But never make a mistake in basics. You cannot do it, you cannot afford to do it. Just be good with the basics. Do not make any mistakes in concept. That is the easy part. You do not make any mistakes in the mug up part. They will help you, don't worry about it. But if your concept is good, if your core physics is good, then you will find this interview very easy. Now, he specially mentioned that NPTEL lectures are very good source, and these are his words, not mine, that listening is a very good tool, and if you listen a lot, you will be able to explain in a better manner in the interview room, which is very good. Now, this is one of my tips, that always if you're going through NPTEL lectures, there's a speed up button. You can actually increase the speed. This is crazy. A lot of aspirants do not actually know this. So you can always increase the pace of the videos so that you can go through it fast, number one. Number two, you're already appearing for BARC level, you have done your MSc, so it is going to be a little bit easy. So your pace and your speed and the speed with which your brain works is actually higher. So if the video speed is also higher, it synchronizes. So I'll just tell you one of the questions that he was asked so that you get an idea what kind of questions are asked in BARC interview. So he was asked, let's say there's a nucleus positively charged, charge of the nucleus is given, approached by another particle having certain amount of energy, and all you have to do is find out the distance of closest approach using the de Broglie principle. Another important topic is electromagnetic waves, their properties. You should know how to find out the electric field and magnetic field of a point charge. You should be knowing these are some frequently asked questions, so that is why I'm telling you this. Another very important topic is mathematical methods. I mentioned this before, so you should be knowing how to make the graph of some standard functions, also their combinations. For example, sin x plus e to the power x, sin x minus e to the power x, sin x into e to the power x. These are the things that you should be doing. Just be playful, be very good with these graphs, because they are going to focus on graphs. Why? Because BARC interview tries to find out if you understand things physically, and graphs are the best way to show that. Another few questions like find out zero of a function, prove it graphically, and things like that. So basically two kinds of subject, your favorite subjects and the must subjects. Have very good in-depth knowledge in your favorite subjects, have good concepts, the basic concepts in your must subject, and that's it. It is basically like JRF interviews. The only difference is that they will be focusing a little bit on BARC focused topics where the must subject comes into the picture. So that's about it for this video on physics, on BARC. I'll be making few more videos on BARC physics because I'll be talking few more of the BARC scientists in physics background. And that's about it. Subscribe this channel if you want more. Hit a like button if you love this video. And that's about it. I'll be seeing all of you in the next one. Do go through the chemistry BARC videos because some of the common tips are over there. And I'll see all of you next time.